May I ask a hypothetical?
Yeah, sure.
I consider myself to be a decent actor.
Yes. What? I was agreeing with you.
No. I know. It was just the way I phrased it. I consider myself to be a decent actor.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah, that's that's why I laugh. Yeah,
Continue your
please.
assumptions.
Yeah.
Oh, we're assuming things now, are we?
Oh.
Well, I can run 100 meters in 6 seconds.
You might be able to if it's on your character sheet.
Hello and welcome to Dice Friends here on the Loading Ready Run Network. You're about to watch a beautiful, wonderful show, but first we want to thank our sponsors over at Dragon Shield. We're actually going to be using their player companions during the show that you are about to see. If you want to get some of these, you can head over to dragonshield.com and use the code LRRMTG5 to get 5% off this beautiful product and anything else on their store. And if you like tabletop RPG games and are inspired to pick up some PDFs from this game and thousands, literally thousands of others, you can check out our affiliate code down below to DriveThruRPG. And if you want to support us directly, you can subscribe on Twitch, you can become a member on YouTube, or you can head on over and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thank you very much and enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to Dice Friends. Not a Drop to Drink, A Tale of Vancouver Island by Night, Series 3, the last series that we are going to do of this one. It's going to be really good. My name is Jacob Burgess. I am your humble storyteller. I am absolutely delighted to be here. I feel very lucky and very, very honored to be able to do this, especially to be able to do it with the fine people that are sitting here at the table. You have to forgive me, I'm a little flustered and a little emotional because this is the session 0 that we're going to be doing for the last series, and it has been a hell of a ride. That is what we're here to kind of talk about today, and we're going to go into and do a whole bunch of awesome chatting and just kind of hang out with you. So let me introduce, or at least allow them to introduce themselves, the people here joining me at this table. Your erstwhile cast.
Hello, my name's Adam. I am playing Oliver Tyndall, former substitute shop teacher turned itty-bitty baby vampire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what would happen if you turned a 55-year-old man into a vampire? Sick. Everyone's hot but him. Like, you're all hot. And then there's Oliver. He's beautiful to someone, I'm sure.
Certainly an option.
Someone.
Yeah, someone.
Yep.
Someone out there.
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm playing Jessica Chadwick, a Toreador primogen. Is that correct?
A child of the Toreador Primogen of
Yeah.
Vancouver.
Apparently she's hot.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You literally have a merit that says beautiful.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, it's 3. Yeah.
It's,
Allegedly.
oh, man. All right. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Cameron, and I'm playing Silas, who is a Tremere sorcerer. He is a very good boy most of the time, unless he's being extremely reckless. He's here for a very long time or a very short time, and he can't quite decide which he wants yet.
Here for a good time, not a long time, brother.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yeah. Yeehaw, brother.
I'm Corey. I'm playing Jordynne Hinkleman, a Brujah with 3 pips in etiquette and yet two in van, and that's how things have been going.
2 in van.
I have two in drive van.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. You have the van specialization. Yeah. Yep. Excellent. Yeah, I got too emotional. I forgot to tell you what we're playing. It's Vampire 5th Edition is what we're playing.
Bro, I forgot I had a point in cryptids.
Oh yeah, you have a cryptid specialization. Yeah, you've got 1 dot in occult with a cryptid specialization.
Cryptids, man. I forgot.
Gotta find that squatch.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that squatch. You had squatch in here? Looking around.
So, in case you are just tuning in or somehow we popped up on your feed and you have no idea what the hell is going on, we're Loading Ready Run. We're a Canadian comedy network, and we do a whole bunch of nerdy things. You can check us out all over the internet. If you found this, you can definitely find the rest of the stuff that we do. This is Dice Friends. This is our show where we play tabletop role-playing games. I get to be the storyteller today for this game. This is the 3rd series. Like I said at the start, it's going to be the last one that we're going to do of this. Not like ever, but this is the final series. So let's drive it like we stole it.
TPK. Got it.
I didn't. We don't have to. All right. Anyway,
We could keep
One
that.
way to end the series. Yeah.
yeah.
We can keep that.
The vibe is a little bit different here. We're just going to have pretty much a casual chat, and we're going to like go over some Session 0 stuff because it's been over a year since we last sat at the table together. It's
A couple years.
We were in the old office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a couple years. It was like
Has
middle
it?
of the Pandini, wasn't it?
I thought it
No,
was
that was
Or
Series 1.
pre-Pandini.
Yeah,
Series
series
1 was during the
2022, I think,
pandemic.
was the-
Yeah,
Oh,
series
that's
1
when
was
it's-
during lockdown, yeah. And then
Ah.
it was a year and 3 months after series 1. All right, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's
It's been a hot
while.
minute. We just like to build the patient. Just in case you're unfamiliar with the idea of a Session 0, it's essentially just like it's the game. It's the conversation that you have before you start playing the game to make sure that everybody's on the same page, to make sure that all of your safety rules are in place, that expectations are met or like the same from before. It has been possibly 2 years since we did this. So during this
Jacob just
session,
drank from the wrong cup in the Last Crusade, and he's like, "Oh,
you chose
poorly. The cup of a carpenter."
Vampire the Masquerade is it's a game with, it can have dark themes. It's themed personal horror. Beast I Am, Beast I Become. It can be dark as hell. So it's important, especially with a game like this, but with all games, just to make sure my strong opinion that Session Zeros are, you got to do them even if they're like 15 minutes with friends that you've known forever, just to make sure that everybody is good. Like, so let me just go over some of the safety rules again. Let me just review some of the safety rules that we'll have in place. And then I'm just going to ask my players just a couple of like questions about like what has changed since last time, different lines and veils and things like that. So speaking of lines and veils, one of the things that we use, again, it's called lines and veils. Lines and veils are things that you have like a veil is fade to black, something that like, you don't want, I don't need to necessarily, this doesn't need to be like an ERP, like, I don't need to describe sex scenes, but the characters, we're sexy vampires and things like that. So we have to someone, we're sexy to someone, there's a lot of Oliver to love. For example, if one of the characters gets busy, we set the scene and then we just fade to black and then we come back to the scene after events have occurred. That's an example of a veil. A line is straight up something that just won't be in the game because it gives you the squicks or the icks or whatever. However it is, it's just bad and you don't like it, it's just not going to be in the game. So we have a number of those that we've gone over previously. I'm just going to check in and make sure if any of those have changed and just reinforce because, we've changed as people. It's been a while. One of the other rules that we're using is the X card. If anything happens in our game, and you're just like, nope, I thought I was cool with it, I'm not. Or at any moment, you just, whatever is happening is making you uncomfortable, you just make a little X with your hands like that, play stops.
Sorry.
That's okay. Just
example.
it's a good demonstration. So play immediately stops. We don't have to ask anybody about it. You don't have to justify your boundaries to anybody at this table or anybody on the internet. at all, play stops, we rewind, we take the scene in a different direction. That's it. Even if you tell me something in this session or previously that you were like, I'm totally okay with that, let's ratchet that up to 11. And later, for whatever reason, you're not okay with it, X card. That's fine. We can talk about it outside the game. We don't have to discuss it at the table. We don't have to discuss it at all. I'll just accept that that's where you're at, and that's cool. Everybody good with the rules so far? Okay. And then one of the other safety rules that we're going to use instead of red, yellow, green, like we've used in previous, is just a quick check-in, like thumbs up, thumbs down, just in case we've got a scene that's going on that is really good and rich and we want to participate in. It's not going to break the flow of play. If somebody is good with it, it's just quick thumbs up, quick thumbs up. So as you're looking at your scene partner, or like as we're going around, just like, yeah, just little symbol, like thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down is like the X card. Play stops immediately. We take it in a different direction. Okay? All right, cool. Any questions about any of the safety rules? Yeah? Oh, okay, cool. So, lines and veils. Can we just quickly go around the table and you can remind me sort of what some of your lines and veils are, if you're okay sharing them. If not, we can just do it off the table, and that is fine.
I think we had a thing on torture.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes, we had...
No dogs getting shot.
Yeah. No dogs getting shot. Any like harm that comes that way, it was no described torture.
Yeah,
yeah. It can all happen.
It can be implied.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
I
it
don't
can be
wanna,
implied.
like, listen to somebody talk about,
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. No hand violence.
Yeah, it's like hand, feet, joint
Yep.
breaking stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm a little better with it, so like it can happen without
So a
really
little bit as
squeaking
a
me
treat?
out. But
So
if it happened,
Yeah,
Oliver's
right.
gonna
it's like,
break
oh, there's
some legs
violence,
or what?
and then someone's
Yeah.
got an arm in a cast or something. That's fine.
Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm just gonna play it safe on that, and we'll do that as a veil.
Yes.
Like any of that happens off camera. Up to and including, like one of you might just be like, yeah, and then we can just make it an easy roll. See how good you whoop the person or whatever. That's fine. Cool. All right. Yeah, we no violence to animals. That's a veil. That's off. Like all that happens off camera. Yes. Anything else? I mean, I've got a list that I have. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want us to get into the kind of reminiscy recap stuff. So
Right.
So you're looking for things that have changed then?
yeah, pretty much things that have
Okay.
changed. Yep.
No, I think it's pretty much the same for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Usual
right.
stuff.
Cool. All right. Then I'm going to review all of that, and that's cool. If you're interested in what exactly that is, you can go back to session 0 of series 2, and all that good stuff is in there. Great. So for the next thing is just want to check in again with level of intensity. A lot can happen in 2 years. A lot can happen in 2 years. We can be in different emotional places. You may not want to go like as hard. Because for example, previously you had said you were like, just emotionally, if you can take me up to a 10, like good luck, let's do it. I want to go there. Some of you just kind of gave me like different numbers and different like vibes, essentially. Numbers are not hard numbers. Your 10 might be your 5, depending, but those are conversations that we can have away from the table as well. But just level of intensity, like how emotional do you want to get during this season?
I'm more just like, I don't know that answer. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. And then we have fail safes if it's getting too emotional. So I think that's
Sure.
better than just like, I don't think I wouldn't say I have a limit, but
Sure.
that I can tell you like right now. But if we get there, I'll let you know.
May I ask a hypothetical?
Yeah, sure.
I consider myself to be a decent actor.
Yes. What? I was agreeing with you.
I know. It was just the way I phrased it. I consider myself to be a decent actor.
Like, yeah.
Yes, you do. Yeah, that's that's why I laugh. Yeah,
Continue with
continue,
your
please.
assumptions.
Yeah.
Oh, we're assuming things now, are we?
oh. So if I
Well, I can
went
run 100 meters in 6 seconds.
You might be able to if it's on your character sheet.
Can Oliver run 100 in 6 seconds?
No,
106?
you do.
Isn't that slow? I think football players run it way faster.
Yeah, I got fleetness. I can do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If there was a scene where like I hear at the table, instead of describing the scene, if somebody breaks down into tears and starts having like a nervous breakdown, if I actually embodied that, would that make you uncomfortable?
Oh.
That's no.
Yeah, like no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
If it makes sense in the scene, right?
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If the scene calls for it, then you're okay
If
with
I'm
it.
at the QVs and
Oh yeah, you
somebody
like
just
if we're
breaks
yeah. Right? Yeah.
over at Shoppers Drug Mart and the cashier just has a meltdown. I'm like, bro.
All right. I think. We need to call somebody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying in the context of the table, not if we're like going down to get a coffee.
Yeah.
That is a good way to get free coffee though.
Is
This
it
whole time,
is it
I
really
could've
a
had
good
a
way?
breakdown.
Huh? It's not a.
Is it really a good
Saved
way?
$1.98 at Tim Hortons.
All
So
I had to
that's-
do is give him my dignity.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean. I just want to make sure, like, as far as the level of intensity and where you want to go and how intense, how emotionally intense you want to be this series.
Let's sell it to the cheap seats. I'm also fully unconcerned with looking foolish.
Okay. All right. Hell yeah. All right.
What
Let's
if I
sell it to the
don't
cheap
want to
seats.
sell it to the cheap seats?
Well, they should
Then
have bought
get
better
out
seats.
of here.
Should have bought better seats. Yeah. Get out of here, nosebleeders.
Yeah.
And Heather, Corey, how do you feel?
Yeah. Mess me up. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can like gel enough with the character and the scenario to have an emotion of any kind, you win.
Sick. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're crying and screaming and stuff, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I can.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's your tears,
I'll just
that's
watch.
that's your problem.
I'll just be
Yeah.
I just just
Pathetic.
Fucking shot. Yeah. Pathetic.
Heather.
I don't want to put a limit on it.
All right. So we have the mechanisms in place. Because again, I think I actually said this in series 2. There is a part of my brain that when I hear that, it is a challenge. Not necessarily a challenge like, I'm going to get them. That's not what I mean. It's I want to see if we can build that scene too, because, we're comedians. Comedians often make fantastic dramatic actors. Like, truly. Because there's a fearlessness that comes with comedy that translates to
I don't know if anyone's ever called my comedy fearless.
Yeah, more like
fearless?
anxiety.
Cameron, you hear this? What's
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Pathetic. That's slowly going through in your head over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, man, Skinner was funny, man.
if this is the energy that we're bringing into the last series, hell yeah, I will honor that. I will be absolutely thrilled and overjoyed. Heck
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be us throwing like rotten fruit at you and you dodging.
That's yep. It just
Comedians make great actors.
Great
Oh,
actors.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
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 How dare you say something nice?
Challenge accepted.
If we can go straight from like this into like a dramatic Oscar-winning scene.
Oh, just it's pee pee poo poo into heartbreak.
Yep.
There was people that complained to me that I would spend all that time talking about Oliver pooping,
Which you can't.
But you can't. But
I-
if all of a sudden you just stop being able to
poop,
poop,
yeah.
wouldn't you want to talk about it all the time?
Yeah, that's primary thinking time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What am I
James
supposed
Joyce
to
wrote
do?
about it in Ulysses.
What am I supposed to do? Take a walk?
Yeah.
Why do you think that book's so long?
All right. Anything else just as far as like safety and stuff at the table?
Still no to romance.
Between players. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah.
I respect you all, but I do not want to smooch you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everybody's okay flirting with me though?
Oh, yeah.
Well, as
Okay.
long as it's not you.
No. I don't even flirt as me. Like,
Okay.
yeah, no. I'm just bad at it. When I'm a character,
Nobody's good at
it's
it.
fine. Yeah, right? Everybody just kind of pretends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, again, because we did have some romantic overtures between Jessica and Monica. Just want to make sure that that's still good.
That's still fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
Are they in lesbian with each other?
They only had like one date.
Well,
Still
I
being
mean, it's been
lesbian
6
with each
months.
other? Yeah.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
get there.
All right.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, that's the whole. I mean, we'll get there. Just easy, just deep breaths. You're with me. Just We're good.
Nice Scott Pilgrim reference.
Anything else about like safety rules? Anything else you want me to know right now, or you can tell me off camera? That's fine. Everybody good? Yeah. All right. So a little bit about the setting, the world of darkness. Just to remind, just to refresh, the world of darkness is our world, but a bit darker. Aha! I know, right?
It's pretty dark out there right now.
Just like a world,
but somebody turned the lights
down just a bit.
Pathetic.
I know.
I'd be okay with that. You know what? The lights are way too bright all the time in this world.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Dim them.
The shadows a bit longer, the moon a little bit brighter. Monsters lurk absolutely everywhere. And one of the joys and terrors of this game is not only do you exist in this world, but you are one of the monsters in the dark. But there are things that the monsters in the dark fear. Mostly it's themselves. That's a huge theme of this game, of Vampire the Masquerade. But there's also just straight up goddamn other monsters that even vampires are afraid of. Werewolves roam the woods, ghosts haunt abandoned places, just longing for some contact of any kind or resolution to their existence. There are people who try and work their will on the world, and the world fights back in its ever-present march towards progress. There are creatures that remember the world that was, and just mundanity crushes down on them. And there's you, vampires.
And Bigfoot.
And Bigfoot.
Hell yeah, brother.
Who, night by night, just to survive, just to exist, must do horrific and monstrous acts. And how do they hold on to what made them human? And how long can they do it? There's a lot of history to this game, but you don't need to know a damn thing about it.
I don't.
Nope. And that's beautiful.
I don't know anything about this game.
He's erased all the things he does know.
I mean, it might help if people knew stuff about Vancouver Island, so then when it's like, oh, we're going to Langford.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, we're all getting on the ferry now.
Oh,
it's gonna be
Langford, it's so
3 hours
scary.
of my life.
So this is taking place here
Yeah.
in Victoria on Vancouver Island. This is a place where within the greater world of darkness has been sort of closed off to the rest of vampiric society. For whatever reason, whenever a vampire came to Vancouver Island, they never came back. Until about 2.5 years ago. Our story is set in 2017. And it sort of became this second gold rush, except just for the kindred, of who was going to claim the island first. Now, Seattle to the south is just a mess. Nobody really in the vampiric world talks about it because it is in a state of constant turmoil. Things will not settle down there. There is no threat of expansion from Seattle because it's essentially constant conflict. And for a very long time, Vancouver was an independent city run by one of the clan called the Ventru, by the name of Siegfried, and his consort of House and Clan Tremere, your clan, Silas, named Julia. 2.5 years ago, Siegfried vanished. At the same time, for whatever reason, Vancouver Island let people back. A lot of times, the exiles from Vancouver were put on a ferry or a boat, dropped off on the island, and then they took off. One person came back, and that was the person that kind of let everybody know within the Vancouver court that it was open. But with Siegfried out of power, his Seneschal Mask, a Nosferatu, the really gnarly looking ones, is the one in charge, and the Camarilla, essentially, they try to see themselves as the vampire government, very, elites, and they do their best to maintain the masquerade, to keep vampires hidden. It's pretty much the entire point of their organization. That and, all the immortal power. They are trying to exert power on Vancouver in order to then exert power on Vancouver Island. And for the past 2 seasons, you have been, knowingly or unknowingly, shaping the political future of Vancouver Island. Where the island ends up How the island ends up is completely up to you. And the politics you do or do not play, that's pretty much the entire point of the game. And in this, you as players have an incredible amount of freedom. There is no curveball you can throw at me that will mess up the story. Because, again, the way that I run games are Living City. I have made Vancouver Island. I have all the NPCs, I have everything all set up. And I can take it on a calendar in my brain from beginning to end, and it's beautiful and great and a story, and I can sit and look at it and play with it, and it's great and it's awesome. And now I take you four and your characters and throw it into that, and I just get to watch it go. That's the setting that we find ourselves in. Any questions so far? I feel like I should remind the difference between Jacob and Jaxab. Yes? Mm-hmm. All right. So Jacob is me. Jacob is your friend. Jacob is the guy describing all of the stuff. Like, he's here. He's on your side. He wants you to succeed. He wants your characters to... He wants you as players to be able to experience whatever you want through your characters. Jaxab is an unfeeling monster and just wants the city to go. He doesn't care about you or anybody, but is neutral. But is generally not kind. Jacob, on your side. Absolutely. Jaxab's the one that runs all of the machinery in the back. I am thrilled to see you break this beautiful machine. As you have, it has gotten a chance to heal because, as Heather said, we are going to skip forward 6 months. And we are all here today going to decide where your characters are and kind of like what the state of the island is in these 6 months. I have an incredible wealth of information, but you get to affect the narrative here today. And just in general, because of some of the other rules and stuff that we have. 3 house rules that I have. Dumb luck, the cube, and the Gerber rule. Dumb luck. Dumb luck is just a fun little mechanic that I have that I put in just about every one of my games, World of Darkness or no, in order to answer questions from my players sometimes of, hey, is there a wrench nearby? Because I want to hit this guy off of me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll call for a dumb luck roll. Dumb luck is randomized. So the previous 2 series, I've asked you to roll a d10. So it's roll a d10, cut it in half, like just whatever score you get, divide by 2, that's your dumb luck score. Scores in Vampire the Masquerade typically go from 1 to 5. So it is a randomized thing, how lucky your character is. Now, luck can shift. In previous seasons, I've asked you to roll at the beginning of the series, and we kept that number throughout the whole series. This series, I'm going to ask you to roll it at the beginning of each episode to really just randomize the hell out of it. You can also ask to be like, hey, can I roll dumb luck here just to see if this is a thing? That's fine. Or you can just say, hey, can we do this thing? It's just a narrative tool, okay? It's not like, I've got strength 5, rah, I've got dumb luck 5. Nah, it's a narrative tool. If Series 2 is any indication, it is coming to play quite often. So, how about we just do a little fun thing and we roll that up now for session 1.
9. So
5.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. That's it. Yep.
hot diggity.
8.
10, brother.
So 4.
4. That's a 10.
No, it's an 8.
I rolled a 4, so it's a 2.
So
no,
it's a 2.
Honey,
okay.
That's a 2.
All right.
It's close though.
Excellent. Okay. So Heather, what was yours again?
I had an 8, so
8?
I've got 4.
4. Okay. Adam, 4. 5 for Cameron. 2 for
Unlucky.
Joe.
Hey, I had 3 last time.
I'm
and
feeling
that paid off
so
great.
much better.
Yeah.
In Series 1, I had 5. Series 2, I had 1.
How do you remember this? I can't
I
remember
wrote it down.
anything. Oh, okay.
Also, when you go from having a
Did you
pool of
write-
5...
That's how you remember things? You just write them down?
Yeah, I do all kinds of lists.
Dude. Alright.
It
What a
works.
hack.
It's so embarrassing.
Wow,
but it
that's so
works.
it's so embarrassing that works. I can't believe it. This whole time I've just been trying to you know?
Oh, no, that place is
Just-
really unreliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just back him in.
I really thought I was him.
You ever look at a note that you've written down
I
and
really
gone,
thought.
nah.
I'll just remember.
I've looked at notes I have and I don't understand them. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure out a note from 2018.
That's wild. Can't believe it works.
Is it part of the game?
No,
I'm not going to ask you what it said then.
No, I'll tell you after.
No.
All right. So the second rule is the cube. This is something that came up kind of organically in some of my home games, and is very good here because I play with some beautiful chuckle fucks who cannot stop doing bits. We are comedians. We will do bits all the time. My horrible, twisted brain always wants to take your bits and turn them into something terrible in the game, and something legitimate, and something real.
Okay.
So
That's
if
nice.
you say a thing, I may ask you, hey, do you want to cube that? That usually means that you went like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if that Oscar Mayer Wiener van came to life? My brain
it
will
would be.
try to spit out a way to try to make that happen. Man. So I will ask you if you want to cube that. I have never
We
used...
say no.
Yep. I know. I
can
know
happen.
you do. I know.
No, we did cube one. thing.
You cubed
happen,
one
clown.
thing.
What did we cube?
I don't remember. I just...
It's the Nosferatu and the Dave and Buster's.
That's
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
That the
No, it was a not a Nosferatu. Who are the shape, the flesh sculpt?
Oh,
Tsimisi.
Tsimisi.
Shimisi, yeah.
Ah, yeah, the Tsimisi and the flesh crafters. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is like lens crafters, but way worse.
Same prices.
You can still get it done in an hour.
Too rich for Oliver's blood, brother. Lens crafters? I go to London Drugs and buy my glasses from that little rack. Yeah, that's Oliver.
So, I don't necessarily expect this to come into play because all of you are just chaos goblins. But it's available, and I may ask, or you may say a thing, and just be like, oh no, we need to cube that because that would just be horrible or bad or really funny. Like I said, I don't expect this to come up very often, but just if it's there, if you want to.
What if we just put a bunch of things in the cube and shake it up and then let the ball out?
No, once it
That's
goes
some
in the cube,
Ghostbuster shit right there. It's like, oh, they all got out.
No, no, no.
What do we do?
No, we can't. There's some things in the cube that can never see the light of day.
It's just a giant sausage walking down Main Street.
It's a sausage, all right.
Yep. Sausage. And then the last one is the Gerber rule, which I love for specifically Vampire. My friend Meredith Gerber, who also did the lovely title, graphic design and the title behind, and some of the other design, came up with and introduced in one of her games and told me about. So when messy criticals come up, instead of me just dictating what happens, messy criticals is we go around the table and we suggest what happened. It could be something that's narrative changing. It could be just so long as the action happens that the critical happened on. And it can be anything from like as mundane as like your clan compulsion triggers. Like, for example, you stared at the moon for a while. You had that happen. To like a whole thing of like if you get a messy critical, one of the things you used Auspex, I believe, on T-Buck.
I used Blood
Oh,
Walk.
yeah, Blood Walk. That's right.
Yes.
Yes, you used Blood
And-
Walk on T-Buck.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that one. Like just Kane picked up.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a vision quest and then got a mustache.
He lived the day.
Yeah, he lived.
He lived the life out.
You lived his entire life out, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You came
Yeah.
back with a slug on your face.
Yeah,
And like
Yeah,
an
that's
accent
sick.
for a while, I think.
yeah, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Had an accent for a little bit. Yep. So those are some of the examples, and then with bestial failures, which is the inverse. It's when on your hunger dice, a 1 or a skull comes up and you get no successes. That's a bestial failure. That's usually a frenzy, but we'll all get to like suggest something.
The best failure, right? Yeah.
The best failure.
Yeah.
Yep.
We haven't gotten one of those yet. We could do that this series. We could probably get more messy crits than we did last time. I believe in us.
I think we got really close when Oliver almost
We
frenzied.
got close,
Yeah.
Yes.
but we didn't quite get there.
Those are the house rules. Any questions about those? Everybody good? Everybody remember what those are? Remember what those are? Great.
Yep.
If not, go back and watch series 1 and
So
2.
we put it in the cube when we don't want to do it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a trash can.
Wow.
It's like
Is it
sending
trash,
it to
though?
exile.
Really?
It's just
Yeah.
Not
it's-
everything
it's-
you throw away is
so
trash.
when you put stuff in the trash on your computer, how often do you actually empty that trash can?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constantly.
all right,
Yeah.
bad example.
Yeah. All the time. Probably weekly.
Yeah, think of the cube more as like the vegetable crisper in your fridge.
That I empty all the time.
Oh,
Well, bad example.
Well,
free.
I like vegetables.
What'd you say? It's exile.
Yeah, I said
yeah, it's
setting it to
exile in
exile.
magic. Yeah. Yep.
All right, that's enough magic for you.
Yep.
You're cut off.
Beej's email.
yeah, try to send an email to any of the people we work with.
Oh, yeah, I
Damn.
don't check that. I mean, I do, technically.
Beej is a very diligent worker.
Yes.
He is, yeah. But fuck him.
Thank you for saying nice things
He's
about
not
my
here.
husband in front of me.
Yeah.
That beach is so handsome.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you're allowed.
Yes. Oh, man.
So as we go on, we'll be talking a little bit more about the setting and things like that, just in case somebody's coming in on Series 3. But I want to talk a little bit about your characters, just kind of reintroduce your characters. Like I said, settle back into their skin. I do not expect everybody to be like, oh yeah, I know everything about this person. I remember it. Yeah, no, there's not a chance. But
Not a
let's
chance
start.
to drink.
It's not a drop to thrink.
Oh, thrink. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
thrink. Oh, get it. The marketing is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This is why they just called it Tokyo Drift.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Watching them go to thrift stores. Yeah.
Family.
Once upon a
Isn't
throne.
it family, right?
Thanks,
Isn't that what they say?
I don't think
family.
Fast and the Furious call themselves a family.
Family. Isn't that what they
Yeah,
say?
actually, I think-
Family's one of the
I think
things.
given,
Yeah,
I
we-
think
we-
given
we've
the
used
van, we're much more of a vanily.
Family.
Yeah. Fangsters is the term we've lovingly been using,
Gangsters is good.
and no other terms.
I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like
there were some other ones.
No, there was none. No, we didn't
feel-
have any.
I
There
feel-
was,
I
yeah,
feel
no,
like we
I
could-
swear.
no.
I feel like we could call Oliver Baby Fangs.
Baby fangs.
What's up, baby fangs?
I don't like.
You-
Actually, no, I don't like that one.
You don't like that?
Especially when you say it like that.
Baby
Baby
fangs.
fangs.
Come on, baby fangs.
Baby fangs. So who would like to go first to kind of reintroduce and recall their character? Because again, it's been a while.
What up, gamers?
We only call them fangsters.
What up, fangsters? Sorry, I can't do. How do vampire people? Am I allowed to say gamers? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I call them gamers? Can you call a vampire a gamer? God
I
damn,
think
you're
so.
A gamer. They're like,
Yeah,
what?
probably. I mean, you can do anything once.
I'm playing Oliver Tyndall. He
Yeah.
was turned into a vampire late in his life, and he used to be a substitute teacher, and now he is a full-time vampire
Yes.
with no real idea what to do. He has a tenuous relationship with Quinn, who is there's a word sheriff.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our sheriff, and I am currently being basically looked after by Corey's character. That is my I don't know if there was a word for it. Just like
Mentor?
mentor or
Maybe?
something,
I
something like
guess.
that.
We're
I
in
guess
a
I thought there was
coterie,
like
so,
coterie. I guess
yeah.
coterie.
Coterie is the group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your mentor would be your Malwa.
What?
Malwa.
Isn't that a thing on my computer?
It could be. I think that's
There's a
malware.
couple extra words.
I think that's yeah. You should get that.
got a malware.
Where? Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't formalized our relationship in that.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
basically contracted
Yeah. Yep.
to take care of you because Quinn's busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
you
Quinn
can't
found me in
feed
the
yourself.
hospital
Good. Yep.
because I kept going there because I was sick.
Yep.
I didn't feel good. Mm-hmm. Oliver still likes to eat food like a human.
And Ken.
And Ken, I've taken
Yep.
the ability to.
yep,
you can
which
talk
is
to animals
not
and
normal.
also sense beasts, basically, which is like frenzied vampires, I think, and like werewolves and
It's
stuff.
not frenzied vampires. It's
No?
since the beast is literally anything with a beast in it.
Oh,
so
okay.
you can't necessarily be like, that's a vampire, that's a werewolf, that's a thing. You just go, there's something pissed off in you.
Can I look at a human and be like, you got that dog in you?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You literally
Yeah.
can sense something's hostility towards you.
Got that
like,
dog.
That's Yep. That's you
Okay.
literally can. If you critical on that roll to use that power,
Yeah.
then you're just like werewolf, vampire thing. Yeah.
Sam
Yep.
Squatch,
Sam Squatch.
Chupacabra,
Yep. That's-
Cthulhu.
Yes. Mothman.
Mothman.
Yeah. I thought we were
We
just
don't get
naming.
those up here.
Not in this section.
Yeah, that's. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's more the Midwest.
Wouldn't it be this suction? Because vampires?
Nah.
You got me.
Gotcha.
gods.
Oliver is a crafter,
Yep.
and he's got animal ken and some insight. And what else? He's very aware. He's got 3 points in politics for some reason.
Oh, he's very involved in politics.
Yeah, he loves to complain about politics.
Yeah. Yep.
He's from
Yep.
Thunder Bay, Ontario. That's where. Yeah, he's from Thunder
yeah.
Bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back now. He generally dresses like you would expect a single 55-year-old man to dress. He doesn't like He doesn't like his shoes to have shoelaces. He's a Crocs and Velcro kind of guy. More Velcro than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mention Oliver's Kaitif. That's
Yes.
the thing that I never mentioned. I was like, there's something important that I haven't brought up.
That is a thing. Do you remember what that means?
It means that I don't have a clan.
That's correct.
Yeah, I don't know who my owner is.
Sire.
Sire.
Yeah.
Owner,
Papa.
Sire, Papa.
I mean-
I don't know who my dad is.
I mean, some of the sires act like their owners. Let's
Yeah.
be fair.
Yeah, so I don't know who fanged me or whatever they say. Fanged?
Embraced.
Embraced.
Embraced, yeah. Embraced. Is
You wanna get
is the
fanged?
term. Hey, you want to get
Yeah.
fanged tonight, boy?
Oh, it's Saturday. I'm looking to
Yeah.
get fanged.
You get my teeth wet.
That's
So foul.
that's a good one. Fuck.
That's so
cursed.
foul.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's so good.
That's so
Corey.
cursed, but
Oh my god.
I'm just looking to get my teeth wet.
Oh no.
Oh God. I hate that. Oh.
Oh god in heaven.
Well, I'm crying, so we've already hit that 10.
You know what I'd do with $1 million? 2 teeth at the same time.
Two necks at the same time.
2 necks at the same time. All right.
Oh jeez.
What else about my character? Wants to know if Bigfoot's real?
Yep.
And found out actually already knows that Bigfoot's real. So I guess he wants to meet Bigfoot. He asked somebody and they're like, "Is Bigfoot real?" And they're like, "Yeah."
This happened, apparently.
I remember. I asked that question. And somebody we were talking to said yes.
I think someone just said yes to make him go away.
is
I
that
don't
what
know
it
if they
is?
necessarily. But
Okay.
that doesn't mean he doesn't think
Well,
that they were
Art-
telling
I mean,
the truth.
Arthur, I keep wanting to call him Arthur. Oliver believes that was.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
that's-
legit,
why would
yeah.
anyone lie to him?
That's perfectly legit.
Yeah.
Why would anybody lie to him? Says the substitute teacher. Was he?
Well,
the-
why would any vampire lie to me? Because they're just as interested as I am, right?
Mostly because Oliver's been told over and over again that vampires lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not been paying attention to some of the things that Quinn or Jordan has been telling him ever.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. Quinn had you for like a week.
Yeah.
When he picked you up at the hospital, trying to kind of show you the ropes and everything like that, and then.
I just ask a lot of questions, and that makes people mad sometimes.
I don't. Well, I mean, I can. Only
That's the way
speak for
Oliver
Quinn.
sees it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm not saying that's an absolute. I'm just saying that Oliver is
That's
just
Oliver
like,
sees it that
look,
way.
I got to ask questions, and I'm
yeah.
sorry that it frustrates you, but I have to ask these questions because I don't know.
Yep.
So he's going to keep asking questions until he knows. That's the energy that
Thank
Oliver
you.
brings.
Thank you for setting that expectation.
Oliver is going
Yeah.
to keep asking
Yeah,
questions until he
And
knows.
he will know, right?
Yeah, he'll remember. It's a lot to take in.
Eventually,
It's
you
more
might.
just like, how does a 55-year-old man deal with immortality all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Like because you're on like you're not in the twilight of your life, but you're
You're in your prime.
you're in like the second half,
Yeah.
right? It's second half. We had him in the second half, but
Yeah.
but you're in the second half of your life. That's why I made this character. It's just like I think it's interesting that you're pretty much who you are. There's no changing it. It's like you're very set in your ways once you're 55.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well now you're going to live forever. So what does that mean? And
Still
it's
gonna be set in
and
your
he
ways.
doesn't have anybody. You know what I mean? So he's wrestling with like, there's nobody really in my life. Like parents are dead.
You
You
just
know?
got
doesn't
you
have
got
any
your
siblings.
poker crew.
And I just got my friends and
Yeah.
they're gonna not be around forever now. And it's like I'm outliving my friends, and it's like I think that's extremely interesting to me. Like how somebody who just lives alone and had basically like no self-confidence and just didn't really believe that he was worthwhile.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you give him this, and you're just like, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what the fuck do I do with this? What do you mean forever?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You balance on a pole for a while.
You mean I get to watch every TV show?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
including the ones that are still coming.
Yeah. It's just everything. I'm not going to miss a TV show. I'm never going to miss a Leafs game.
I think. Yeah.
I'm
I
finally going to
remember
get them see them
seeing
win the cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
never
can you
gonna
imagine like the sense of serenity you would have?
Yeah. So they're gonna win sometime.
Yeah, they're gonna win sometime.
I just have to live that way. I just can't get shot with a garlic gun or something. Whatever they do to vampires, you know what I mean?
But like Vince from the Slap Chop just comes up
Garlic
like,
gun.
bam.
It's just full of
It's like a potato gun, but worse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah. So
I really
I don't know. I just find Oliver relentlessly interesting in that way. I just think he's just. It's a lot fun to explore this world because I know, and I made the Oliver this way because I don't know anything about vampire, and I think it's interesting that I get to basically
You get to
act
learn
how I
through
want
your
to
character.
act and just kind of ask the questions that I want to ask, but also do them in a way that's probably, I mean, obviously over the top because it's a show, right? But that are funnier, like, you know, just a little.
Yeah, back to the garlic gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since Oliver's a crafter, right?
I can make one. Check it out.
He already has.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying, yeah, it's been 6
like,
months. He's had
potato
6
gun,
months to
I
see
know
it
potato
around.
gun.
He's like, check it out.
Yeah.
It's the garlic
please,
gun.
We need to
It's
fight
one
all
of
these
the-
vampires.
Please show it to Quinn.
It's one of those caulking guns, but instead of the caulking tube,
It's just
and it's got
garlic.
like
It's
got
just
the
squeeze
like,
it and it just comes out.
Yeah.
It's that smell.
I was thinking of like a modified T-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hucks a full
Yeah,
head of garlic.
just
Vampires don't even like. They're no problem with garlic, right?
Correct.
It's like
Most of them.
Very, very, very few that believe the old folktales enough,
yeah.
like psychosomatically get
Oh,
affected.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it affects it affects them supernaturally as well. So some of them can't cross running water. Some of them can't go into a church, but largely
It's just all
that's
folk
incredibly
tales.
fucking rare.
Yeah.
Largely they're just like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna go.
I like the idea of
Yeah.
Oliver be like, "What do you think about this?" And they're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, it's
"Garlic, dude."
that's fine, man.
If you do shoot the garlic out of a cannon fast enough, it will do some damage.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it won't
At-
matter. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I've infused the bullets with garlic. You're like, what do you mean? There's still bullets.
I saw this movie once. Yeah. You ever seen Blade 3?
Ever seen Monster Squad?
Yeah. Wolfman's got arms.
That's pretty much sums it up.
Yep.
Corey, you can go.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mom Bruja, she died in her 30s. July 1st, 2006. A tragic day. So she had a family, a husband, 3 kids. 2 kids died. She got a divorce. And now she wants to immortalize her remaining child. So she's trying to get permission from the Camarilla to embrace her own child so that her child will never die.
Is that a normal thing? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but
No.
no, that's that thing that they would usually be like, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Why though?
Real bad idea to when
Sire
you
your child, or-
to sire your child. Yeah. It's just
Is it like inbreeding? I guess for lack of a better
It's
word.
not.
Like
It's not necessarily that. It's just the emotional baggage that comes with that, and the power dynamics already in play.
okay.
Yeah, imagine like you know how you feel when you go home to visit your family at Christmas and suddenly
And I'm like, I'm a vampire now.
when your parents just treat you like you're 14 again?
Yes.
Yeah. Like that
Okay, but you're a
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they do treat me like I'm 11.
Yeah.
You know.
How old's your child?
Sorry, Corey.
She's an adult. I can't remember.
She was in
specifically.
college, wasn't she?
Yeah.
College,
Yeah.
Yeah. She's 20.
What does she study?
I forget. I didn't write it down.
You have more questions about your child.
Probably Psy, baby.
Poli-sci. Great. Yeah. No, that was what Jordan studied. Jordan. Was
No,
poli-sci.
legitimately, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
Legit poli-sci.
Yeah.
legit politics background. And then once she was embraced by the Bruja Archon in Vancouver,
Yep.
she started doing odd jobs and breaking into places and just being kind of a gopher for him. And now it's kind of like a way to prove herself and get in with the bosses. She's kind of spearheading this endeavor to set up a foothold on the island
For the Camarilla.
for the Camarilla,
Yep.
opposing the Anarchs who are also here and other people who are also here. It's a very crowded place.
It is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your daughter's name?
Danielle.
What is she studying?
Arts?
How many times has she switched majors?
She hasn't yet, but she's going to.
Okay. All right, cool.
It's
So
like her
junior
second year of art.
okay. All right, so she's a sophomore. Okay, cool. All right, she's definitely going to be a super senior. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. Who would like to go next? Who would you like to go next?
Let's get Cameron out here.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Silas Reed is he is a member of the Tremere. His sire is very well regarded and is
Theo.
nowhere around here. Theo isn't even from Vancouver, is he?
Theo is in Vancouver, but he travels quite often.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Silas is an architect, and his job here is that he is supposed to find a location and then design the new Tremere Chantry House. So ready to go on this. If somebody just wants to sign anything, please, somebody I just want to work. And he is profoundly unimpressed with being a vampire.
Why?
It's just Mean Girls. Forever.
That's such a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Like it's just
All everyone would be like, I've seen that movie. I understand now. I get
yeah.
it. Oh, it is Mean Girls.
Not only are you immortal, but you're magic.
Yeah.
And you spend it doing this. Forever.
You don't get bored?
No, that's the best. Like, beast I am, less beast I become. As it turns out, you already were a beast before you became a vampire.
Yeah.
And you haven't gotten any better, and now you just have a lot of power with which to do all the shit that you wanted to do
Yeah.
originally
I would argue, like,
with no restrictions.
yeah, you're not a beast because you don't have the ability to be, you don't have the unrestricted power to be one. And now all of a
Yeah.
sudden you become a vampire and you're like, it's cowboy time.
Yep.
You know, you get to do whatever
Yeah.
you want. Yeah.
And his experience meeting elders, let's say he's met someone, right?
Yeah.
He does have the Tremere Chantry lore sheet, the pyramid. So he would have met like some
Yeah.
reasonably senior vampires, and his impression of them is that this is an organization that selects for an ability to survive in this organization and no other purpose. That like when the Second Inquisition started handing out Darwin awards, like it just has no ability to adapt. It's not sustainable for one thing. Like, you know, I don't know how Silas doesn't know how this organization made it out of the 20th century, but he's convinced it's not making it out of the 21st. Like it has zero chance. And he doesn't want to go out like that.
Interesting.
I think it's funny that you're trying to like basically get this very minor thing approved by the city and they just keep sending you back to like different departments to get things.
He's
like,
got the city clearance, right? Like,
Yeah.
Theo's just like, I'll look at it in 2072. Like, we don't. What?
What do you mean 2072?
It's in my inbox.
Do you even know what an inbox is? You have a computer.
And like, I think Silas also he would say he's above the beast duality. Right?
Sure.
Beast I am, less beast I become.
They all
but
do.
no, he deals with it. It's there for him, but it exists in its own way, which is that he, on one hand, he's like, yeah, well, I mean, like me, Silas is indigenous, and he's discovered that apparently somebody's mythology was real, and it was the white people's.
Does he believe that though?
I don't know. Well, it turns like certainly walks like a duck.
It does. There are a lot of vampires that do espouse a very
Eurocentric,
yeah. Abrahamic
Yeah.
sort of like mythology.
Yeah, and I
but
mean, like
there
it's not exclusively there. You know, the Banu Hakim, and there's but like he would definitely feel a bit. His experience with being turned into a vampire was that he wanted to be a sleek predator of the night, and as it turns out, he's just in the Model UN.
That's such a good way of putting it.
and
yeah.
his thought on
With
it is
blood magic.
yeah, with blood magic.
Yeah,
He's
they can
like,
just make someone explode.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
you've been able to do this the whole time?
Yeah.
Has anyone fixed climate change? No, that's not our problem. I would disagree.
Yeah.
So on one hand, he's like, whatever, I'm already dead. What else can they possibly do to me? So he's, on one hand, in that mode, he is extremely reckless. And he just, he's like, whatever, it's werewolf blood. What's the worst that could happen? The worst thing has already happened to me.
Okay.
The worst thing has already happened to me. And on the other hand, a part of him is like, no, you're immortal and you need to act like so much worse can happen to you, dude. If you can't die, except under very specific circumstances, I regret to inform you that so many worse things can happen to you. And he doesn't know which is the beast and which is humanity. It's unclear to him which of those voices is the devil
which
and the
one?
angel.
Yeah.
Does Silas hate being a vampire?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
He is of two minds about it, right? I think he doesn't like feasting on sentient creatures as his only means of sustenance.
Yeah, because your feeding type is consensualist.
Yes.
Which breaks the masquerade just about every time.
He likes being immortal. He's, extremely intelligent. He's skilled at things that he does. He likes trying new things. He's very curious. And this is kind of a trap for him, right? Like, hey, do you want to try this thing? It's really cool. Well, clearly I do. But it has all these drawbacks and he feels lied to.
It's going to be very interesting to see how he deals with stressors.
Well,
more stressors.
Yeah, because he's I guess he's resentful.
Yeah.
Would be where he is right now. But his upbringing is that he is very
A good boy.
yeah, he is a good boy. He respects hierarchies.
Yep.
He doesn't like disappointing people.
Yep.
And that fits into the Tremere org chart very cleanly.
Yep.
Right? The Tremere no longer have the thing where you what was their old flaw?
Their old flaw was that pretty much every younger Tremere was almost at least one step bloodbound to every older Tremere.
Right.
And now it's just our blood weak, no blood bond for anybody.
Yeah.
Which is when a vampire feeds either a human or another vampire their blood 3 times, they essentially just turn into Renfield, from Dracula. Yeah. Yeah.
I did that.
He
Yep.
feels that absence.
Which one's Renfield?
Renfield is the guy who is in the
Eats
asylum.
Yeah. He's the mortal guy. That's just flies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Master. That guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
He wants to do the right thing and doesn't know what the right thing is anymore, but he is being... The right thing might be burn it down, but on the other hand, he's like, but I can't. I have a hard time burning it down because now I'm part of it.
Yeah.
And it seems very big and sturdy and legitimate.
Yep. I like how earlier you were like, yep, he's kind of separated from the whole beast I am. The beast is there, and he's just going through it, but lying to himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can separate the two.
Yeah.
I'm built different.
Yep.
In fact, I have achieved enlightenment. It was extremely easy, which leads me to believe that you simply haven't tried.
Yeah, everyone else is just doing it
Monster
wrong.
Energy
Yeah. Yep.
I am the man.
The energy drink is just called Sigma.
What the Sigma?
Yeah. Jessica.
Yeah, I'm playing Jessica Chadwick, Toreador, best Toreador. So she's been a vampire for a couple of years. Grew up in Victoria, and her whole thing is about putting her best forward, but also finding the truth and those sorts of things. I think she's been more on she was an art student, and I feel like many art students, you kind of go through that path of I'm trying to discover myself, and then you're still why haven't I done it yet? I'm like, I'm about 25. Like, I should know this by now, right? And you become a vampire. It's like, oh, damn it. I thought that would work. I thought that would do something, maybe. So it's just like starting over
Again. Yeah. How about her sire?
Her sire is Tripathy, who is a big deal off in Vancouver.
Yep. Yeah, he's the Toreador Primogen in Vancouver. So on the council. Yep. Helps to rule Vancouver.
She's got Auspex and Celerity.
Auspex is sight beyond sight, or like enhanced senses.
Yeah,
and,
so I've
reading
got
auras.
Sense the Unseen, Premonition, Share the Senses,
Yeah.
Celerity, Rapid Reflexes, and Fleetness.
Yep.
I have a new one, but we're not in that yet. And then I've got Presence and Awe.
Yeah. And Jessica's also kind of going through, like, discovering herself a little bit. Like, a little bit more. Like, I should have figured out. Now I've got to start over. How does she feel about starting over and discovering this, like, these new sides of herself? She just kind of, like, annoyed that she has to do it? Or
I
is she
think
embracing
probably at the beginning, like, it definitely annoyed because she just didn't go anywhere
Yeah.
and do things. She was very sheltered.
Yep.
The first few weeks were really kind of neat in a lot of ways. Lots of attention,
Yeah.
told some things, and then just kind of like, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who to talk to, kind of just shuts in a little, gets a fun job writing listicles.
Dude, that's really
Yeah.
funny to think about. Like the whole, just you saying like, oh, at the first few weeks, it was great because everyone was like, you know, when you start a thing, a new
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then anytime you do anything remotely simple, everyone's like, you're the best. You're the best to ever do it. And then you get further on into the hobby or whatever you're doing, and then people stop clapping for every little thing you do.
Yeah.
And you're like, this sucks, man. Nobody's clapping. You know? That's very funny. That's such a human thing. It's like, what do you mean no one's clapping? You clapped just last week when
yeah.
I fed on somebody.
Yeah, and I did even better this time.
Yeah. I fed on 2 people.
I didn't even get any blood on my white
Yeah.
shirt. I wore a white shirt. It was
Yeah.
very cool.
That is incredibly funny.
In that Walmart change room.
Well, that came later.
No one clapped that either.
Yeah.
I mean, she was very proud of herself at that point because she was just like, I can seduce people.
Yeah.
She hadn't really been doing that.
I don't think she realized how attractive she was.
No.
Yeah. She had no idea. Yep.
No. I mean, she like
She might still not have an idea.
Her roommate Kathy, like you bring up Mean Girls, but they're the plastics, just doing that kind of thing, Instagram filters and whatnot.
So that's the characters. So now let's talk about what the fuck happened the last 2 series. How much do you remember? I, of course, have a photographic memory.
Yeah. I don't
I'm sure once we start talking about it, it's going to start
You
churning.
want to start with series 1? We broke a van.
So we all got
broke?
together because we were all put together to. I can't remember why we were put together. Well, I know why I was put with Jordynne.
Babysitting.
Babysitting.
I was also put with Jordynne.
Babysitting.
Babysitting. Oh, sick.
How about
Okay.
you, Silas? Why were you
I
with
don't
Jordynne?
need a babysitter.
Yeah.
I had
He's
to
an
go pick
architect.
him up from the ferry.
Yeah, I had a job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I ran into a very large, angry man on the ferry.
Yeah.
And then he followed you.
Yeah,
And he followed me.
Yeah.
and we hit him with a van.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, he kind of ran into the van.
Yeah,
He did. He had a couple of friends.
He did
Yeah.
have some friends.
Yeah. On bikes.
yeah, we
Yeah.
may have committed
Fixing
aggravated
the rails on pedal
vehicular
bikes. Just,
Yeah.
assault.
Yeah.
Anyone remember that the back seat comes out?
Yeah. Backseat comes out.
Yep. So there. Yeah. You had a car chase. A van chase. Sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Van chase.
Silas ate some werewolf blood,
Uh-huh.
which is a bad thing, apparently.
Yep.
We did have to do a forensic check rule on that. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we met Quinn. Well, I'd met Quinn
After
already.
the van.
After the
we
van.
walked
got
to
sold.
a gas
Yep.
station.
Yeah.
Yep.
You had some fries.
And then we eventually ran into Marge.
Marge. Yeah. But let's.
That's
Yeah.
a bit too far, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back and like after the van was totaled.
We went to Jordan's house for
We
a
went to
while.
Jordan's house. Yep. Yep.
To kind of regroup because we had nowhere else to be and we were being pursued by werewolves or lupins.
Lupines. Yep. Yep.
3 lupines is a lot of lupines. That's more than enough lupines.
Yes.
We were
Werewolves,
victorious. So I don't know what you're talking about.
lupines, as the kindred call them, that's the reason why vampires stay in cities. They don't survive in the woods unless you are of a very specific clan called Gangrel or Ravnos, who are kind of like clans that have abilities where they can like wander and like melt into the earth and turn into a wolf and hide. Yeah.
Melt into the earth is very funny.
Yeah. Yep. They literally, like, during the day, they'd just be like, and they literally just go, yeah, yep. Some of them, absolutely.
Doing the nesty plunge, brother.
Nasty plunge into the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The ground. That's sick.
So, Quinn, the sheriff, what do we remember about him?
You don't like me.
Very
Angry.
tightly wound.
Ventru.
Yep.
Also,
Fancy
like,
jacket.
Yep, Ventru, the Clan of
weirdly
Kings.
unavailable. Like,
And he's
always
got
busy
history.
all the time.
Yes.
He's understaffed.
Wildly
Unfortunately, we're
understaffed.
his staff.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so he deputized all of you to essentially help him do things.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Reach for the sky.
Then we got invited to a party. That happened like immediately after.
Yes, that was you went to the junkyard, Chains' junkyard
Because you had his
needed
phone
to
number.
find- Yeah, Chains is an old buddy of Theo's.
Wasn't Chains an anarch, though?
acquaintance.
yes.
Yeah, he's an
Isn't that
anarch
weird
Yeah.
that they mix? I can't remember if that
Yep.
was like, that was like.
They don't talk about it
I
a
can't
lot.
remember what they said. What did your boss say about us mixing with the anarchs? Do you remember? Was anybody like, maybe don't? You
Oh,
know?
you haven't told him.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You
So
wouldn't
that's
be
the thing,
telling
we just
anyone.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Good
you don't
thing
go
didn't
around
say that
talking
because
about.
I would have said that out loud.
We did-
somewhere.
we did
Would've
tell
got us in
them-
hella trouble. Good thing I asked now because I'm like, hey, remember that time we went to
we
the
did
anarch
that,
party
yeah.
and people was
We
like,
all firewalked
record
and got
score,
smashed.
record scratch. Everyone looks at me.
It's like, don't
Yeah.
mind him. He's drunk.
Because Chains had potential property.
Yes.
Yeah, to sell you and owed Theo a boon.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you owed your sire a boon.
And that's where we met Monica Giovanni, who also has property on the island.
Uh-huh. And attempted to make a counter offer.
Yep.
Yep.
Just come work with me and my ghost buddies, and you can have a free plate and dinner.
Oh yeah, she gave me a free plate.
And a cup. He had a cup
Yeah,
with it.
I got the collective dishware like they sell
Dave.
on commercials.
We met some other
That was-
people
yeah,
like
no,
Zach.
That was later.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was later, yeah.
Her servant buddy or whatever wrapped the plate up for you and sent it to you
Yes.
later.
Yeah. Yep. That was later,
Yeah, I
but
forgot
after
that
the
she keeps ghosts in the basement.
yeah, that was series 2. So let's go back to series 1. So Anarch Party.
Everybody had to prove themselves.
Didn't the first one end just after the party?
It's pretty close.
Yeah, it was pretty close after
Yeah.
the party. Yeah, because essentially Quinn, the tension at the end of series 1 was Quinn, who represents the Camarilla, is here to attempt to claim Praxis, to claim the island for the Camarilla. He's already started like setting things up. Part of the issue is that there was too much going on and he was trying to maintain the masquerade like pretty much by himself. And then when he went to the Anarch Party, because you had to go and collect that boon, or at least like start the ball rolling to get that property for the Tremere on the behest of your sire, Chains started making offers and treaties to all of you, essentially. Just being like, hey, there's more of us. There's one of him. I can get you a job. I can get you this. Like he was very charming and convincing and immediately forgotten about.
Definitely don't
No?
tell
Oh,
Quinn
yeah.
that we went and hung out with Chains. Definitely don't tell Quinn we went and hung out with
Yeah,
Chains.
yeah.
They used to date.
And Chains, yeah, said that him and Quinn used to be an item. Yep, back in the day. They used
Yeah.
to run together.
And then I think we'd kind of just worked out some boons and stuff with
Yep.
Quinn at the end.
Yes, you worked.
Did Oliver meet Stalks by Night in season 1?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was in the morning.
That was
Yeah,
that was the
behind your
first
place.
season.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
Stalks by Night was the first season.
I was
yeah.
outside of your house. Yeah, because Quinn showed up for something and then was just like, "Why are you?"
But the second conversation with Stalks by Night was season
Season
2.
two.
Yeah, that was the checkmate conversation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the end of series 1. We began series 2, I think, pretty much right where series 1 left off. Right?
It was a couple days
yeah.
after.
Yeah, it was a couple of days after.
Well, we met
Yeah.
Marge.
You did meet Marge.
We found Marge on campus.
Do you remember why?
Yeah, they had
there was a
been-
scream.
Yeah.
Yes. But why did you get sent to campus? It was Quinn. Quinn had a problem, is having a problem with thin bloods
Yes.
at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wanted to, like, there were too many. He wanted you to get to the bottom of it because he is busy managing all of his ghouls, trying to set up a network and something here.
We were at the campus so Oliver could practice being Batman.
Right.
Yes. Because Quinn was like, you need to help Oliver figure his shit out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because he was
Right.
hopping on the fence
Yeah.
in the yard.
You two were there for that. You were researching something, and I was at a party.
Just on campus. Yeah.
That was on
like an enemy
campus.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we heard a scream. We
Yeah.
chased down the attacker. We bundled them into the back of the van, the new van, Vandolph.
We
because
saved
it's
that person.
from a LARP group.
Yep.
And we also killed a little deer. And we put the dead deer and the person in the back of the van. And then Quinn had to teach us how to clean.
Yep.
Yep.
He taught you how to clean a van in the Whole Foods parking lot. Yep. And and Marge was perfectly fine and normal,
Yeah,
right? As a
totally
thin
fine.
blood.
Yeah,
Normal.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
very,
Very
yeah,
normal.
yeah. Yep. Marge is very
No
fine and normal.
problems understanding
Yep.
Marge at all.
yeah. the-
Huge fangs.
that hyperlucid state probably pass.
Yeah. No, they had a utility knife instead
Yep.
of fangs for cutting.
Yep.
And they were mostly like non-conversational, sometimes singing random songs.
A lot of Mary Had a Little Lamb.
One
lot of-
song, really.
a lot of songs.
Yeah, Bloody Mary
A lot of
is-
song. Yeah. 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 A lot of Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Had to
with
like
some mashed potatoes and some.
Really
sauce.
concerned about Oliver.
Yeah.
yeah. Poor
I keep
sweet,
on. Oh,
precious
Oliver kept talking to somebody who wasn't Marge.
Yeah, good recollection. That happened a little later in the series,
Yeah.
but yeah, something was talking at Oliver
But
through
nobody
Marge.
else saw it.
Nope.
Nope.
And every time you tried to talk about it, it came out as Trudeau rants.
We talked in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I just yelled at you about Trudeau for like 30 minutes. Get me out of here, dude. I don't want to be here.
Bagged up 50 dead rats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I fundamentally I share your opinions on the policies of Justin Trudeau being largely ineffectual and paying only lip service to the
Yeah.
Holy
the
means
things
rats.
that
You gotta
he
believe
promised
me.
to put into effect. But I feel that we're coming at it from slightly different angles here.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
Quinn helped us
Yep.
and made it very clear that we were kind of on our own, basically, because like he doesn't have a lot of people to use.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we tried to make another deal with Monica to get information about
Yeah, Monica
stuff in
Giovanni.
Langford.
Yeah, who is ridiculously wealthy and is very sweet on Jessica.
And
We
seems
got
to, like,
information.
Boss chains around and order him, and she has a nasty basement.
A scary basement.
It's not nasty. It's just
It's very clean. All right,
it's
sure.
like a vault for ghosts.
Yeah. It had a very highly polished drain in the bottom of the.
In one of the rooms. Yeah, it was a
In-
long hallway with doors on
In
either
the room
side.
we were
yeah.
allowed to go into. That
In
later.
the one room you were allowed to go into.
Si-
Yep.
Silas-
That was
you take
later.
Silas to a hardware store and he will tell you which drain exactly that was. He'll it's that is seared into his memory.
yeah.
Hardware
Yeah.
store? Oliver's all excited. We're going to hardware store, Home Depot.
Right. We
We,
tried to
uh,
get Monica to read Marge's mind, basically.
Yeah, but we drove around Langford before
And then-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we scoped out the location expertly and stealthily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We made a new friend.
yeah, you had gotten some information from Marge. By information,
God,
picked out some facts from some ramblings.
Yeah.
And figured out that you needed to go to Langford with Monica's help, essentially. Like helped Monica use some of her weird ghost powers to help you with the map. You met her cousin Zaz as
yeah,
well.
Zaz really liked
Zaz
Oliver.
Mataz.
And it has that there jazz.
What? Sorry.
Zaz was really into Oliver.
Oh yeah, Zaz was the one who was like interesting. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I walked by with a big plate of food, and he was like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Live my life,
I'm
brother.
eating
Let
it, yeah.
me live my life."
Before we went to discover T-Buck, we went to a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
you started speaking in tongues.
Was
that in the Walmart?
Sumerian, I think.
Sumerian.
That was at
Sumerian.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I tried to blood walk Marge.
You tried to blood walk Marge.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
You like.
Yeah, you tried to
Yeah.
blood walk Marge, I think, in the back of the van when you went to Langford to, like, with Marge, you know, to
Get
try to
socks.
find, to get socks, because Marge needed socks.
Yeah.
You found out Marge used to be a yoga instructor.
Yes.
Yes.
They got very angry about the yoga studio that was nearby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They were super angry about that and kept saying, like, I got to get to work. So you found out a little bit more about Marge. You found what most likely was where you were going to get some information about where a lot of the Thin Bloods are coming from. And that's part of what was keeping Quinn so busy, was this plague of Thin Bloods, because he had that ghoul. That's how he picked you up. So a bunch of people are just going to the hospital going, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And somebody keeps going, Quinn, there, I got another one. And so he's doing things with the Thin Bloods.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal, fine things. So what happened when you were in Langford, which is about 30 minutes north of here, by the way?
Found T-Buck.
You did.
We stared at a house for a very long time.
Until he came out to talk to us. Very friendly, like.
Sat there and stared at.
No, we tried to approach the house. Oliver hit some garbage cans, and then we
Yeah.
all ran away.
And then
Yes.
yelled scatter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what happened is Silas
Yeah.
tried to mind wipe T-Buck, and T-Buck noticed.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It worked.
It worked
One time.
It worked the first
It
time.
worked the
Yeah,
first
right.
time.
It worked every time.
And then on his lawn, you kept yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And then he snapped out of it. You tried it the second time, and T-Buck frenzied.
Yeah.
And charged you. Joe just put him in the dirt with one hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, you would have not done very well,
Yeah.
and the rest of us were not helping.
accurate.
Yes. So you found his blood meth lab,
Yeah,
essentially, by
I
Jessica.
jumped into it.
Yeah, Jessica jumped right into it. And then you tied him up in his own house.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Talked about Rush.
Wasn't he? He was playing like an Xbox game or
Playing some
something.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
yeah.
He was a duty gamer.
Yep. He was playing Call
What
of Duty.
prestige are you, huh?
Yep. T-Book.
We said T-Buck a lot.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody did.
Then Marge got weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
weirder.
Weirder. Yeah.
And then we had a thing in the basement. That's where I noticed her. She talked to me, but it wasn't Marge. She's like, "You better fucking watch
They-
yourself."
that
Oliver.
happened, but that was later.
That was later.
That was later at Joe's house, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was in the basement
Uh,
at T-Bucks. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
I'm
that
wrong.
was the T-Buck.
Because then I
Oh,
tried to talk.
yeah, that was
Because then
the
I tried to
T-Bucks,
talk to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Cameron
We
in
had
the
to
bathroom.
We had
Yeah.
to clean up T-Buck's place before we left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
T-Buck's place was, I remember, being very clean. Like,
Well,
very
yeah, it was
fastidious.
until there were a bunch of rats in the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Why were there rats in the bathroom again?
You got
called
hungry.
Oh yeah, I called all the rats. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes the animal power doesn't work out the way I want it to, but I'm gonna keep trying.
You do that. I think you'll get there.
Yeah.
I
so,
call everything. What do you mean everything? Anything in a 3-mile radius.
well, you all, like, during this entire series, like,
He's like a Disney princess.
yeah. Yeah. And during this entire series, all of y'all rolled a messy critical at least once an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want
Sometimes
stats, you can watch the
just
Q&A
all at
episode.
the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, we had 2 or 3 of them
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh, yeah. We had stats in the Q&A episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the last
I provided
series.
those.
Yeah. Yep. That was very good. All right. So do you remember what you found out from T-Buck?
Yeah, that T-Buck's sire was, or maybe not his sire, but he was being operated by
Reverend Brother Sweetwater.
Yeah.
who's a Sabbat vampire.
That is the rumor. So the Sabbat are called the Sword of Cain. They're essentially like a doomsday cult. they believe very much that Cain, like the biblical Cain, was the first vampire, and not the second generation, but the third generation, the antediluvians, who are the founders of all of the clans, are going to one day rise up. So the Sabbat are just like, you know what? We're going to kill all the antediluvians. Cain's great. He's the Dark Father. We're doing this for him. So when Cain comes back, we're going to be like, look, we started cleaning. Take us to blood heaven. Who knows? And they're...
Oh, no, you're going to blood heck.
Hell, yes. And yeah, so the Sabbat are like a fanatical doomsday cult of some of the worst people imaginable. They are horrible and neat, and Reverend Brother Sweetwater was apparently a member.
I remember from when I used to play Vampire that one of the Sabbat tactics when they wanted to destabilize someone's principality was you just embrace like 50 people.
Yep.
And then bury them in a pit out of town.
Yeah, so shovelheading is what you're... Yeah,
okay, yeah, right, yeah.
Do that.
So...
You mean embrace, like, turn them into a vampire?
Yeah, you create just a bunch of, like, low-generation vampires.
And you bury them in the ground, so they wake up.
They're
out,
frenzied as soon as they get out.
They're all hungry, and they have to dig their way out. So what they would do is murder a bunch of people, dump all the bodies in a pit, and very quickly after, throw a bunch of their blood in there, and then bury them. So it was just luck of the draw how many came out of that, like how many got embraced because of that, because they just dumped their own blood in there to try to like turn. So they would dig out and just start wrecking havoc so that the Camarilla or the Anarchs were spending all of their resources in order to try to maintain the masquerade, and then the Sabbat could come in and start like doing whatever it is they were going to do in the city, like steal the thing. Sounds similar to a kind of Plague of Thin Bloods, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sure does.
Yeah.
T-Book, though, has
I don't
like...
believe it. It's a coincidence.
I never heard of this.
Yeah.
But we were able to track Reverend Brother Sweetwater to a church.
Yes.
We locked the doors and burned his ass. We just...
Yes,
he
you
came
did.
out and we like
Yeah.
hit him with shovels or something,
Yeah.
like a lot.
So it's important to note, so there's a couple of threads and a couple of details, because Vampire is a very political game. And again, whether or not you actually engage with any of this stuff or give half a shit about any of it is completely up to you. I truly am happy just you playing the game and existing in the world. You don't have to engage with anything that's in front of you. It's a buffet. You pick up and put on your plate what you goddamn want. So it's important to know.
Can't go to buffets.
You can.
I can.
You got the Eat Food merit.
You keep doing it.
I'm going to Vegas,
Yeah.
brother.
You threw up a lot once you realized you weren't digesting anything.
Yeah.
Odd
why I
sausage, I
felt
think,
so
was the
sick.
term.
did.
Yeah. So it's important to note that when you showed up to Reverend Brother Sweetwater's, there was a bunch of folks in the local government that were there for his midnight mass.
The mayor of Langford.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. We
High-ranking officials.
Yeah.
figured that part out.
Well, I think I managed to put a bloodstone.
On the car.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. You absolutely did. Yep.
And we lost a lot of rats.
Oh, yeah, the rat infiltration of 2017.
Yep. Yeah, you convinced a bunch of
Alvin,
rats
Simon, and Theodore.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, you sent them in for scouting and everything. What was it was all cheese, no snap, I think is
Yep.
what they kept repeating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was just Alvin who came back.
Yeah, it was just Alvin that came back.
I think it was just Alvin.
Yeah.
Brave Alvin.
Brave Alvin. And you chained that place up and you burned it to the ground. Yep.
And then we took some of his ashes, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's proof.
Well, I mean, he got out.
He crashed
top.
through this
Yeah.
window,
Yeah, he climbed up to the belfry. He jumped out.
and then we hit him
Essentially-
with
We beat him with shovels.
Yeah.
things. Essentially, I
Yeah.
don't think we had
He turned to
shovels.
dust.
We
He
tried
got
to
dead.
stake him
Yeah.
and then missed.
He was on fire when he came out, so we all had to do.
And we were very close to the fire.
Yeah, we all had to do those those fear rolls or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ror-
the
Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Yeah, Rorschach tests. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and there was another. It was like the last roll of the series. Yeah.
You know the scene in JoJo when they're all stomping on him? That's basically you jumped
Yeah.
out the window and we all came
Well,
up.
I forgot that I had a messy crit
Yeah.
banked,
Yeah.
yeah.
and I was supposed to use it at some point, and
Well,
It was
yeah, it
there.
was the last roll of the
Of the
thing. and it
series.
was-
when in Deluvia.
yeah.
Because you were holding the stake. Oliver was like, "Yep, I've got. It's just a railroad spike. Great." And then you slipped, moved back, and just Gallaghered his head.
Yeah.
Yep. just Gallagher's head, and that's kind of where we left it. So there are a lot of different plot threads going on through this season, like, you know, what's going on with Monica. We've got the subplot of your burgeoning romance with Monica. There are still thin bloods around. It does seem like the Anarchs have more of a hold and a little bit more power, really depending on the political leanings of the party, or of the Coterie. Like, you still need to set up you need to finalize a deal with someone in order to get a property for the Tremere to show up. Oliver doesn't really care about the identity of their sire, and is just trying to make it night by night, pretty much.
Yeah. He doesn't think that he thinks that it won't change anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't know enough to think that it would change anything. So he's like, whatever.
Okay. And then there was something that happened though at the end.
We walked in the house and Joe's kid.
Jordan walked
Yeah,
in the
that
house.
wasn't everybody. That was just Joe.
We all went
Talking
home,
about the party?
essentially.
We went to a rock concert.
That happened before you went and
Murdered.
murked
Yeah.
Reverend Brother
I argued with
Sweetwater.
Marge about a hot dog.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Who won?
Marge.
one of the other
very
plot
close.
threads was you going to a party because Quinn has been understaffed for quite some time, and you don't know if it's because he's highly capable or because it's a punishment or both. Essentially, like, he's sort of intimated at some things, but somebody showed up to start really like reinforcing this place. Somebody really high up in the Camarilla
A real
hierarchy.
sharp dresser, I hear.
Someone named Johnny Knives Bruja Archon.
Yes.
I don't think a couple of those are his name.
I think a couple of those are his
We're always
name.
introduced like a Warcraft villain just comes in. Johnny Knives! Bruja Archon!
So does everybody remember what an Archon is? Nope. All right.
The Enforcer.
They're essentially the enforcer of the Camarilla. So you've got like the council at the top of the Camarilla, and then you have the Justicars, which are in charge of like vast areas of the world. And then the people that work under them are the Archons. If an Archon shows up in your town, that means somebody somewhere fucked up, and the Archon is here to fix it.
It was probably us.
Where Where with here, it seems like Johnny Knives, because this isn't Camarilla territory, really. The Camarilla will tell everybody it is, but it's
Isn't that what they're supposed to do? Because I figure the camera would just like tell people that because the way they act and
Yes.
like just how they feel about
Yeah.
That's ours.
yeah.
Wait, no, it's not. But
Yeah, no, it is.
you're gaslighting.
And
us.
to prove it, we're going to set up Elysium.
Yeah. Yes. So Elysium is a neutral ground for vampires. So the Johnny Knives showed up and set up an Elysium where anybody can come, and you're not supposed to use any powers there. Vampires can come and like talk. You know, it's usually like a once a month like conclavette, depending. You know, they're run differently in different cities. Sorry, that is gathering.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. That's
That's a new term. I just had to ask.
It's from it's from my younger days.
Old
Of,
one? Is that a boomer term?
Conclave?
yeah.
Conclavette.
Conclavette it's a Jewish term. It's like it's Jewish.
Oh, it's not a vampire term.
It's Jewish summer camp.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a vampire. It's all biblical. So yeah. Yeah. Did you want to keep talking about Elysium? Do you remember what the name of it is?
The one in Victoria?
Victoria.
Dave
yeah.
and Buster's.
I don't think we had a location because we were having that party or the concert like in underground tunnels,
Yeah.
but I don't think he had set a location yet.
No. So the party was at a place called the Prince and the Pauper.
Okay.
That was he bought that.
Okay.
That is his now. So it's him setting up the Elysium there. Yeah. You met somebody else at that party.
Chansey the
Chansey.
Rock God?
Chansey the Rock God. Chansey the Rock God.
He traced a phone number for us.
He did trace a phone number for you.
Isn't that how we found Sweetwater?
That is how you found Sweetwater. Yep. So essentially, it was going to be a boon, and your sire, Johnny Knives, just said, nope, you do it for free, because
Yeah.
Chansey and the Rock Gods work essentially for Johnny Knives.
We couldn't get T-Buck to call in Sweetwater to trap it because he's enthralled.
Yes, because he's bloodbound. But where?
So we stashed him
Yeah.
in a convenient basement location. It's hermetically sealed and it has a lot of drainage.
Yep.
I love that you said stashed him.
That's what
I
we did.
mean, we
I
had
know,
to
but it's
because
just funny. It's a great term to use. We did.
he's a thin blood and he's not going to go to sleep during the day, and he would have told on us or killed us.
He's a snitch. I can smell a snitch from a mile away.
T-Buck's a snitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like he was also making a lot of vampire drugs.
Yeah,
He was.
actually also that.
Yeah.
Making a ton of vampire
So
drugs.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the population density of vampires? Like it's something supposed to be like 1 for every 100,000 humans.
Used to be.
Yeah, this is
Nobody
there's-
really knows
There's
now.
only supposed to be 1 per 100,000.
That was the Camarilla
there's
rule
the
for a very
4
long
of
time.
us. There's
Holy
Quinn.
Shit.
There's a
That
lot
got
of
away on him,
anarchs.
didn't
That's-
it?
that's
what
what it's-
happened to that rule.
I'm sorry, excuse me. That's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there were like what 10 anarch vampires at that party? 15,
probably more.
20.
There were
And
like,
some people.
Yeah, there were 10. There were
Yeah.
and there was a bunch of actual humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude,
One
1 per
werewolf.
100,000 is some human levels of optimism. Like, holy moly. That is
You-
funny.
Yeah, so that
God,
essentially
they're idiots.
that comes
They're
from the
just as dumb as we are.
Yeah.
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 So that they're really old about it.
Yeah.
But that a lot of that like that number comes from like the Dark Ages, and that's like princes and stuff are supposed to keep that like because they get the right of progeny.
Yeah.
They're the ones that say, yes, you can make a child. You can make a child.
Oh, and that's why Joe wants to ask about. There's like a
Yeah.
student.
I already
council.
asked. It's like part of the conditions of.
It's part of the condition.
What I'm
So
doing.
Okay.
if Joe can help make Praxis, then, and if the Camarilla gets control of Vancouver,
Yeah.
because there's also politics happen up over there,
Dude, that's so funny.
then
you gotta go ask
you
him to
get-
make a baby.
yeah, then
Unless I get Praxis myself somehow, then I can just make a baby.
that's true.
Maybe we're gonna start blasting or what?
Quinn had said that he was going to claim Praxis here on behalf of the Camarilla, which means Quinn would be the de facto prince should that happen. Currently, he is the sheriff of Vancouver because it's sort of really heavily leaning and structuring itself like a Camarilla like
State.
essentially. Like it's going to declare for the Camarilla probably very soon. Quinn is the sheriff here because that's the structure, but he did indicate in one of your conversations that he wanted to declare Praxis. So Johnny Knives coming in sort of pisses all over that. So now there's tension between what Johnny Knives wants to do, because he seems to have respect for Quinn, but he's like, as a kid, I'm the real deal.
Right.
Yeah. So there's tension there. And the Anarchs have just kind of like gotten to do what they're going to do because we didn't interact a lot with them in Series 2. So that's kind of like the political state of the island as it stands. And then whatever the fuck Monica's doing, because she represents a group called the Hecata, which are also trying to kind of get into the island. They apparently have a lot of property already because they purchased it through. The Hecata is the clan of death, essentially. They are the only independent clan. Them and the Ravnos are the only independent clans that haven't called for like either the Anarchs, the Camarilla, or the Sabbat, like as a whole. Yeah.
They're like the Green Party or something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It'd be like if the Trudeau family didn't have a party.
yeah.
Now
Yeah,
you're
that's a
talking
good
my
way.
language.
That's a real good way to put it. Yeah. And we're necromancers.
Yeah, the Giovanni maintain independence by being broadly useful to people and also being
It seems
They're very scary.
remove.
it seems weird to me that the Camarillas especially would just let a vampire clan just kind of operate independently, I guess.
That would be because of something called the promise. So they back in like the 1400s, they made a deal with the Camarilla to leave them be if they continued to prove themselves useful to the Camarilla.
Okay.
The Hecata,
The Hecata, yeah. If the Hecata,
Why did they
prove
want to be
themselves-
separate? Just because they didn't want to? They wanted to do their own thing, kind of like.
They consider themselves a family, and they don't need or want to belong to anybody else. Yeah, they just they are.
They don't want to be part of the commune. They want to kind of like, this is our thing. We're going to keep it family, keep it real, and then do our thing over here, which is necromancy.
Yep.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah. The Augustus Giovanni, who used to be the. Yep.
I thought you were going to say Augustus Gloop.
Nope.
He died.
Augustus Gloop
Yeah,
died, dude.
he passed away.
He jumped out of a church tower and a bunch of people hit him with shovels and then tried to stake him and
Missed.
missed. Yeah.
So Augustus Giovanni, who was the head of the Giovanni, which there was a clan before them called the Cappadocians. So the Giovanni essentially killed all the Cappadocians and took their place as the clan of death, essentially. And Augustus Giovanni diablerized. We talked about diablerie a little bit earlier. It's when you eat a vampire and take their power.
That's like the ultimate no-no, you said.
It's the ultimate no-no. It's super murder.
Do not
ever do it. Super murder. The Sabbat or
Do you
the
go
only
into
one.
super jail for it?
They kill you for that.
Yep, they kill you for
They'll
that.
do a blood hunt for that.
Yeah, they call a blood hunt. Like almost anybody will call a blood hunt, and they'll
And
just
then that
do
means every vampire is looking for you?
it. That means every
they
every
can kill you.
vampire can freaking kill you. Yeah.
They can eat you at that point too. I
I
think.
like to see him try.
Yeah. Yeah. So Augustus Giovanni, who, again, big necromancy guy, he wanted to be independent so that they could pursue something called the Endless Night, which essentially, like, if they're necromancers and they can control the dead, if they tear down the barrier between the land of the living and the land of the dead, they'll be all powerful.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why I wanted to be independent. That guy's not around anymore. Because he died, a million ghosts are loose, and they started going after everybody with necromancy. So every clan and bloodline that did necromancy, essentially, sort of came. There were a number of circumstances came back together into the Hecata, which is the
To
clan
get
of
some
death.
control going on? I guess.
To get some control and protection,
Yeah.
and also because they essentially all were a bunch of bloodlines stemmed from the same guy, Cappadocius, and they all came back together for protection and to be what they always were, because the Hecata was like the name from like way, way, way back in the past. Yeah, so they're
So
still
it's like an older thing, but slightly modernized, I guess?
Yep, pretty much, yeah. Imagine a corporation that like broke up into a bunch of companies, and then like one of the companies just exploded, and then the rest of the companies went, "Oh, we need to be a corporation again." Okay, great. That's pretty much it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they call each other cousins. It's very family coded. Anyway, yes. So, does anybody else remember any other lingering plot threads, like for their own characters and their own character motivations?
Oh, I had that run-in with Quinn.
Yeah.
I threatened him.
Yeah, you did.
I told his ass to stay away, or else they're going to blast it.
Yeah.
Well, because he was gonna kill Stalks by Night.
Yeah.
He was berating you, and yeah, Oliver was like, "You don't talk to me like that." Quinn seemed very pleased.
Yeah, he was really happy about that.
Yeah, he was like, there he is. Like he was very pleased that you stood up to him and actually got like aggressive. Yep, yeah. Stalks by Night is the literal cougar that you called and like had conversations with through Joe's fence.
Yep.
Yep. So we have What's Up with Marge is kind of one of the plot threads.
I have a note.
Yep.
Marge is being hunted by someone named Calliope.
Or we're being hunted because someone enthralled Marge.
Do we know, is that a famous name? Like,
Calliope?
yeah.
It's a Greek name.
Well, I know that, but I mean, in this world, is that like a John Wick, like a boogeyman, kind of like you say it to young vampire to spook them? Like if you don't drink all your blood, Calliope will come get you.
No, that would be Baba Yaga.
Oh, Baba Yaga's actually a thing. Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bigfoot's real, Baba Yaga's got to be real.
Lord. Calliope.
Baba Yaga. I can threaten people with Baba Yaga?
Calliope's
This
an
whole
East
time.
Coast thing. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So there is.
Can I meet Baba Yaga?
I don't think you want to.
No?
Yeah. That'd be a bad idea, probably. Anyway, the Calliope and the entity that spoke to you through Marge. Do you remember their name?
No, I don't.
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marge is being hunted by. Yeah, Calliope is one of the things. Where did that note come from? Do you remember? No.
I just have it
When we
written down.
bloodwalked Marge,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she spookied into the window behind where we were standing.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, it's
And
Bloody
dressed-
Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went
Yeah.
and talked to you because she was upset that you were.
Yeah, Bloody
Poking
Mary
around.
was like, this is outside knowledge. I don't know if Silas would know this. He's got high occult. But Bloody Mary is a Malkavian, like, elder. Right? I want to say.
Don't look at me, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
I looked at the books.
Okay.
Yeah, I did too, but that was like 2 years ago, so I don't really
You
totally
cheaters.
remember. We're allowed to look at the books.
No, I mean, I'm keeping my experience pure.
So Malkavians are also known as the Clan of the Moon. They are afflicted with visions that don't allow them to interact with the rest of the world the way that other people do a lot of times. All right. So does anybody else remember anything else? Anything else they want to bring up? Anything else? Any other recollections?
Yeah, I've got stuff with Johnny, stuff
Yep.
with my daughter, stuff with anarchs and other people that are local.
So speaking of your daughter,
Speaking of my daughter,
what was the last thing that happened in the series?
I came home at night and my door was open and the lights were off and someone was digging around wearing a hoodie and I pinned him against the wall and then heard my daughter behind me
Yeah.
say, "Mom."
Like grabbed him, lifted him up with one hand.
It's the adrenaline.
We'll probably have to address that as well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We will. But what we are going to do with all of the information and recollections and everything that we have is we're going to move the timeline forward 6 months. So it was about November when we ended last. A Christmas happened with 2 weirdly rewrapped presents that you'd already had.
They were very nicely rewrapped.
There's no way to tell that they were rewrapped.
This looks like I paid someone to do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were
Paid
weird for
somebody
you,
who's
but they were
really
like
good at
really
wrapping
nicely
presents to do
done.
it.
So based off of everything that we've gone over and kind of said, where do you think in 6 months, where do you think the island would be? Where do you think your characters would be?
I think we would learn fairly quickly if we had effectively stemmed the thin blood tide.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that we did, since we're skipping ahead 6 months, instead of being like the next day. I'm using context clues here. However, I assume that the whatever agents were planted in local government are on more of a slow boil.
So let me just set the broad stage, and then you can kind of tell me where your characters are at. The broad stage is Quinn reports that the thin blood tide has not abated.
Okay.
It has lessened. It is not quite a constant assault, but one thin blood can beget more. So even if Reverend Brother Sweetwater wasn't just kind of pumping them out, they're still hidden and around, which means there's just kind of loose thin bloods about that don't know shit about shit. So far, they haven't really, like, Quinn's either found some or they haven't really.
Oh, I get why it's a problem now, finally. Because there's so many new vampires around that none of them know what the masquerade is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, they're stinky thin bloods, which a lot of vampires hate. So,
Yeah.
okay, never mind. I don't know why it took
Yeah.
me so long.
They're
to
just
clue in.
feral, running
They're
around
just
the
running
streets,
around,
cutting
just doing-
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just doing shit, and they're like, hold up. you
Most
can't
of
do
them
that.
have fangs. Like Marge is an outlier that they don't have fangs. It's one of the thin blood flaws in the book. Essentially, is like baby teeth.
Yeah.
Baby fangs. I'm gonna think about that for a while. So it's abated. It's like when something pops up, Quinn isn't quite so overwhelmed to be able to handle it. He still relies on all of you as deputies, but the months haven't been. They've been times of building, essentially. Johnny Knives is still here. Johnny Knives is now the de facto sheriff and is sort of like taken over Quinn's job. Quinn now works essentially for him and has had a lot of his autonomy removed, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Monica Giovanni is playing some sort of a long game. There's no real, like, anything major with her in, like, a setting thing. There will definitely be some effects with your relationship. That is up to you. Joe has been enjoying a place of privilege, and in Johnny's estimation, she is equivalent or higher in his estimation than Quinn. Johnny has very quickly kind of turned this into his own little kingdom. Like, he's the Camarilla Prince here in all but name, because he's got a tech expert in Chansey, and whoever the fuck the monsters are and whatever the fuck they do, they're actually able to... They've actually killed 2 of the Archons. Those bikers, the 3 brothers that were there, if you remember.
The Lupins, yeah.
No.
Oh.
There were 3 bikers at the Anarch party.
Right.
They were in different colored, like, they look like Power Rangers almost, in different colored things on different colored bikes. 2 of them are dead.
Oh.
Yeah, they were able to, like, they found 2 of them and were like, no, you need to get out of here. They gave them lip. They're dead. They're gone. They kept their helmets.
Oh.
It's very macabre. Chansey has started setting up kind of like a mini sort of tech network, which Quinn is super not happy about.
I thought they hated that stuff.
They do hate that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
because
because the Nosferatu like used to run a thing called ShrekNet.
Correct.
Back in the 90s. They were like old school hackers, right?
Yeah.
They were old, like very, competent hackers in the 70s and 80s, and
Yeah.
they had like their own like dark net set up.
Yeah, they
that
had
the American
vampire
NSA just rolled right up and
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
too many.
Stay out of my net.
No, like bang, 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 vampire's dead.
Oh
yeah, like the Nosferatu did not stay as good at computers as humans got.
Do Nosferatu operate like outside of the Camarilla and everything? Like,
No,
are they-
the
they're
Nosferatu, the
pretty much
Nosferatu
part of the whole thing.
are pretty much part of the Camarilla. Yeah.
If you remember when Chansey put down the cell phone to show us the thing, you just kept telling us that to not talk about it, like that it wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah. So Johnny's up to something, but he treats all of you really well, and you're
Is he nicer to me than Quinn was?
yeah.
Right,
Johnny-
Johnny.
Johnny Knives is just he's just charming machismo in a leather jacket, like straight up.
Yeah, Quinn had the vibe of like, don't fuck this up for me.
Yeah.
This is my chance.
Yeah.
He was wound very tight.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Johnny Knives is just like, you don't need to say you're sorry. I know you're sorry.
Yeah,
But he'll also like
you got it.
gas you up and like give you a hot dog.
Yeah.
God, I love hot dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll be like, you don't have to say you're sorry. I know you're sorry. You want a hot dog? It's fine. Like, it's cool. Yeah, he's the cool kid in high school, like, to the nth degree. The Anarchs have not moved too far up island. They're more in, like, West Vancouver and Saanich. Like, they have domains sort of down where the docks are, like, almost on the other side of the water towards the Esquimalt.
Okay.
Like, that's sort of the area that they mostly frequent, like out there to Esquimalt and such. There's still not enough, straight up not enough vampires to like be, it's a political Cold War essentially between the Anarchs and the Camarilla at this point. No lines have been drawn. It's all still sort of like muddy, but with you who are nominally for the Camarilla, the reinforcement of Johnny Knives, Chansey, and the monsters, they actually have enough folks to start like laying down some groundwork and structure. So they've started to reach out within some of the infrastructure and mortal institutions here in order to start getting power and start actually like being able to influence more things in the mortal realm here more directly. Yeah. There are like rumors and rumblings that there's still a Sabbat presence here somewhere. And you have
That would
heard
be just like always a constant thing.
not all the time. There are packs that go that like roam around.
I
And
mean, just rumors that they're around.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
just
that's-
always like, I heard there was some Sabbat around.
there's
Like,
a
"No
they're
way,
they're a
dude."
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
they're a boogeyman.
Yeah,
A boogeyman. I know. I said we were going to, do like the 6-month time skip, and you're gonna like tell me where you're gonna be and everything. I think we should save that for the beginning of episode 1. Like let's do it then. Then we can set the stage and just get rolling. And that will also be very exciting for me because I have a general idea, but then you adding everything into it and then just kind of going into it like that, for me, that's going to be very fun and very interesting. And it was just fun to just you know, kind of like almost every session 0 that we've had has been like, you know, very formal and like I've had like a set agenda. It was nice to just sit around and sort of like just talk about and remember stuff, because like you have all said things that like I rewatched everything, but you said stuff that like helped me remember some of like the threads that were back here. Like, yeah, this was great. This was awesome. So we'll do that at the beginning of episode 1. And yeah, aside from that, I'm going to bid everybody here good night. I'm going to bid everybody there good night. Thank you very, very much for joining us for episode 0 of Dice Friends, Not a Drop to Drink, A Tale of Vancouver Island by Night. Again, just to remind everything that we do, this is possible because of you and everybody that supports us at patreon.com/shit.
Slash.
I know. Leave it in. It's fine. Slash. God damn it. At
DOS gamer
Patreon,
detected.
right? Yeah. At patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thank you very, very much for being here. Players, thank you so much. I am so looking forward to running this game for you, for being your storyteller. How is everybody feeling?
Thirsty.
Right. Yeah.
So thirsty.
Blah.
Thirsty.
Everybody,
Blah.
3D?
3D.
All right,
No.
everybody. Well,
thought we
stay tuned for episode 1 where we go and get our.
grab my cape and put it over my face like this.
Bleh.
Bleh. Bleh.
All right, well, episode 1's coming. Join us while we go get our fangs wet.
Can Ulmer get a cape?
Sure.
You already have one.
Like a big, with the one with that sticks up, you know, like the big collar.
You need a lot of starch
Like
for
the
that, but you can do
Castlevania
it.
Dracula cape? Why not, man? Yeah.
What makes a man? you
Yeah.
know?
You need to make yourself a pipe organ.
Oh
Do the whole monologue.
Dude,
Have at thee.
Have at the.
he could just be like getting into media that has vampires in it and trying to learn that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Great. You ever seen Lost Boys? It's so good. Anyway,
Lost Boys rules.
we'll see you at the beginning of episode 1. Thank you very much.
Bye, gamers.